Hello, good people, and welcome back to Unit 5 on Banking and Investments. This is Retirement Part 2. In our previous video, we talked about what you can receive through your employer, what to do if your employer does not offer you any retirement options. First of all, don't take that job, run away. But if you need to, make your own retirement account, you are more than welcome to do that. And we discuss different types of retirement accounts and who qualifies for them and who does not. So let's go ahead and talk about what you can receive with regards to retirement through the United States government. Okay, so if you don't have any backup plan at all whatsoever through your job, the government has some sort of a fallback plan for you. Okay, and we call this Social Security. Okay, so it benefits the elderly and disabled. A lot of people think that it's only for old people. People who are disabled, who do not qualify for disability insurance, can receive part of what they have paid into Social Security throughout the span of their disability if they would like to do so. That is an option. Okay, all citizens are eligible to receive this, regardless of how much or little you work. Pretty much everyone pays FICA taxes if you're earning a wage. All right, your payroll taxes are a thing, even if you're self-employed. So since everyone pays into it, everyone can receive it out. All right, so where did it come from? Well, first of all, if you remember back talking about the Great Depression ever in any of your American history classes or in your previous civic literacy class, the Great Depression was a time in the late 20s when the stock market crashed and basically burned. And so a lot of people were out here at age 65, age 70, which are like, that's not old. In 1929, that was your life expectancy, was like 70 years old. That's it. So as a result of the Great Depression and people losing hundreds of millions of dollars in savings in retirement and all of their accounts in the stock market, the president at the time was FDR, and he decided to create a social safety net so in case something terrible like this did befall us again, someone would have a backup plan. Okay, so he passes this the Social Security program within the New Deal. Okay, so all of his legislation in his first 100 days of office, or his first 100 days as president, he was like, listen, we got to fix this economy. It's a hot mess. Let's go ahead and get it moving. Okay, so he decides to, with the assistance of Congress, because the president suggests laws and Congress has to pass them. So in addition to Congress, he decided to pass these laws, and we still have them enacted today. All right, it's created to make a social safety net. It is mandatory spending by the United States Congress. It is one of the largest chunks of the federal budget because we have a lot of people who are now qualifying for Social Security. There are a lot of, excuse me saying this, but there are a lot of boomers that are now at retirement age that are drawing Social Security, and the boomers are one of the largest sections of our population because there are a lot of babies born post-World War II, you know what I'm saying? So that's where it comes from. And here's FDR and it's all his wrinkly glory. All right, so how does it impact you? What do you have to do with Social Security? Well, all citizens get a number and a card shortly after being born. If you are naturalized, meaning that you are not born a United States citizen, but you decided to become a United States citizen over time, you are not born, obviously, with a card because you weren't born here. You can go and apply for one after your citizenship. That is one of the benefits of receiving United States citizenship, is that you now qualify for Social Security, because beforehand, if you are working in the United States and you are not a citizen, you're still paying into Social Security. You're still paying into those FICA taxes for Social Security and Medicare. They're not coming back to you. You don't get to keep those. All right, so that's that. You pay into it over the course of your life, and you get an average of the amount that you have paid when you retire. So how we calculate Social Security is a little complicated, and it's not really that important. You mostly just have to know when you can start receiving it. All right, so all citizens who earn traditional wages pay into this, or non-citizens, and it has its own tax collected from paychecks. Remember, we call these FICA taxes or payroll taxes, Social Security and Medicare. All right, this is what a Social Security card looks like. It is the same sort of font that we see on United States dollars. They have not really updated this design in a minute. It is 3 digits, 2 digits, and then 4 digits. It says your full legal name on here, and then you have to sign it. I would strongly suggest that if you have not already signed your Social Security card, please do so. If you don't know where it is, you don't know who in your life has your Social Security card, please find out, okay? Go talk to the adult in your home, be like, hey, do you know where my Social Security card is? And if they say no, y'all better go hunting for that thing. You need to know where it is, okay? So definitely don't keep it in your wallet. This is something you keep at the house in like a box somewhere so that people can't steal it. All right, so when can you use Social Security? Ideally, you would use Social Security when you reach what's called full retirement. You can draw Social Security or withdraw your benefits and receive part of your salary that you've paid into it for the rest of your life. Full retirement depends on the year you were born. So the greater it's a greater age the later you were born. So, for example, my parents were born in 1954, so their full retirement is 66 years and 2 months. I was born not in 1954, so my full retirement is a little bit older than theirs. So every year past the 1953, I think it is, or 1950, they add a month to how long you need to work before you can draw Social Security because life expectancy keeps stretching out. All right, so we'll get into current events with that later. Please draw this at the latest possible time. Wait until your full retirement. There's a specific age before your full retirement that you can go ahead and start drawing it. Don't do that. Just wait and get 100%. Don't get a fraction of what you're owed. Get all of it, okay? So just wait a little bit, work a little longer, and move your about your business. So when can you use it? It's available to you at the age of 62. You can start drawing at 62 if you want. Your birth year does not matter for the minimum age, only for full retirement. Okay, please wait to receive your benefits. All right, typically this kicks in 3 months after retirement. If you want to go ahead and retire early, that's fine, but the government says that you should work until this particular amount of years. And so until you reach that age, even if you've already retired, let's say, for example, let's take me as a public school teacher. If I put 30 years into the public school system, I will be able to retire at 52. All right, let's say I live until I'm 90. That's almost 40 extra years that I am living without a paycheck. I do not have enough saved to live for 40 years without a paycheck. So most likely what's going to happen is I'm going to retire from teaching, but I'm not going to retire full out from working. So I might go to work part-time somewhere. I might get a second career. You never know. Don't call it a comeback, okay? So if I decide that I want to have a second career, that's all fine and well and good. And then I want to retire at full retirement, I get 100% of my Social Security. If I start drawing Social Security when I'm like 54, I'm going to get like a third of what I'm supposed to get. Don't get a third of it, get 100%, okay? So usually 3 months after retirement is when Social Security kicks in. So you got 3 months to kind of cool it and use your savings, but after that it kicks in. All right, so can I have it now? All right, so for current events, there has been a lot of debate on raising the full retirement age to 70, regardless of what age you are. And people are like, I don't want to work till I'm 70 years old. Well, here's the thing. Full retirement was age 62 when Social Security came out in 1929. The average life expectancy in 1929 was 65. So you would only be using Social Security for 3 years at that time. Here in the United States nowadays, since life expectancy is so much more and people are living longer, people are staying on Social Security not 3 years, but like 25, okay? So there's been a lot of chitter-chatter about people working until they're 70 years old. People are like, I don't want to work till I'm 70, all right? And I can't blame them because that's old. All right, no offense if you're 70. All right, so entitlements are what we call entitlements are Social Security and Medicare. These are the largest portion of the federal budget. This is what most of people's taxes end up going towards is healthcare and Social Security. And the question that has been raised here recently is Social Security sustainable long term? All right, because when Social Security started in the 1930s, 20s and 30s, well, really the 30s when he got into office, there were 47 people paying into the Social Security pool for every one person taking out. And that is not the case now because our population has now shifted and a lot of our population is old, okay? Hashtag boomers. All right, so now for every one person that is taking out, only 3 people are paying in. So it used to be like 42, all right, and now it's 3. So there's a big difference in how many people are actually contributing versus how many people are taking out because of how old the American population is and how big our population is that is eligible for Social Security. There's been a lot of chatter about sustainability of Social Security. There's also been a question raised, especially here recently with the 2020 election. A lot of candidates in 2019, before deciding on which two candidates would represent our two major parties, there was a lot of question about whether people should automatically qualify for Social Security or whether they should have to work a specific job or whether they you should just not have this and just invest in your own retirement instead of the government doing this. There's been a lot of chatter about that. And I would be remiss if my last thing I told you in retirement was not, okay, boomer, that has been part 2.